Hey y'all, welcome back to Drifting Drams and another day of 12 Days of Starlight. It's our segment where we're talking about 12 individual Starlight finishes. We're having a lot of fun with it. We're really happy to share it, and we're trying some great whiskey. So that's a call to win-win-win. Absolutely. So today's bottle is a rye finished in apple brandy barrels. This is one of their single barrel reserve bottles, which is basically just their gift shop only. Rye finished in apple brandy barrels. And so just to get it out there, Starlight is part of Huber Farms. Huber Farms grows pretty much everything. They grow apples, apricots, grapes. Of course, they do some corn and some rye and things like that. And then they make it all into alcohols of various formats. This one is their own apple brandy barrels that the rye goes into to finish. Love the whole process from end to end. Really excited they do it that way.
You definitely get a ton of rye spice on the nose.
You do.
Green apple is what I'm getting.
See, the nose for me is candied apple. Like fair style. Comes with a stick in it upside down on a little tray. Like that's exactly what I'm getting here. It's sweet, it's apple. There's a little bit of a spice, so maybe it's Christmas time at the fair, so they've done something weird and put some cinnamon or some cardamom or nutmeg on there. Like that's what I'm getting here. Oh man, yeah.
Tons of apple.
Yes,
Tons
of it. But that rye is coming through too. That spice is there, and it's gonna show up. I believe.
So I think this bottle is about 108, 109 proof. Can definitely tell it on the nose. Mm-hmm. Tingles a little bit. And I believe it's 5 years.
Yep, 108.4 proof, and it's 5 years. So that's one thing you will see about their single barrel reserves. They do tend to be just a little bit older. Not a lot older, but a little bit. Oh man.
First sip, you get a ton of apple sweetness. Ethan said it perfectly with candied apples from a fair mixed with that rye spice. You get a ton of rye spice on the finish. Since we've had this one open for about a year as well, it's definitely opened up, and the air has done it great things to it, rather.
Coming back through on the nose a second time, I'm getting a lot more sweetness. I'm actually getting a little bit less apple. The apple's toned down a little bit for me on the nose. It's sweetness and it's rye spice with a little bit of oak in there.
See, I'm getting a ton of like cinnamon, like a baked apple pie almost now.
I could see that baking spice, absolutely. Yeah, that apple is hanging around.
But very subtly, like.
It's up front. It's up front and it's replaced by baking spice pretty quickly.
I would say very quickly, like it finishes all baking spice and then just lingers as it goes down.
Yeah, it's, again, Starlight, right? They're making really good base whiskeys, ryes, bourbons, etc. And then they're doing great finishes on top of them. And this is exactly that. You have a really good base rye, and then that apple brandy finish kind of comes in around the edges to really round it out. And round it out it does. Man, this is just a super complete bottle.
It is. Getting a little more oak on like the third or fourth sips now. Like you can definitely taste a little bit of that barrel char to it.
Yeah, and if I take a little bit bigger sip, the apple's actually coming through a lot more. Man, a lot more. Granny Smith, without a doubt. Yeah, that's a Granny Smith. It's a little bit tart. It's sweet. Not so much of the skin. There's very little bitterness or I forget the other word for what you get from an apple skin, but it's the flesh, that sweet tart. Some people say Granny Smiths are only good for pies, and they're nuts. Man, that is outstanding.
Yeah, let's get one more sip in here.
take as many sips as I want. You're not the boss of me. Ooh, that vanilla's coming out now.
Mm-hmm. Vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
even a little clove.
Yeah, that vanilla is making an appearance. It wasn't there early on, but now it is. And man, that rye spice is it's hitting me right here in the bottom corners of my mouth.
Oh yeah, and it keeps you drawn up, like it keeps you going back for more.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's because it lingers so long that as soon as it dissipates, you're like, oh well, I obviously need more. Let's do more. So let's do more.
Mm-hmm. I'd say if you ever see a bottle of a rye finished in apple brandy barrels from them, at least try it. It's a good for us. It's a Christmas bottle for me. I mean, I can drink it all the time, but it reminds me a lot of the holidays. All the baking that goes on, everything like that.
And I agree. And so, yeah. Thank you all for joining us today. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. If you didn't, downvote it, please. We're absolutely fine with that. But just tell us what we did wrong. Or that you hate my face. That's fine too. I get that sometimes.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you've actually been to the distillery or not. We'd love to hear a story or two about that. We enjoyed our time there and look forward to seeing you on another day.
Absolutely, y'all.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.